Chinese send bombers overhead the Pacific Ocean after US warships again enter Taiwan Strait. For the first time this year, the United States has sailed 2 warships through the Taiwan Strait Thursday in yet another challenge to the One China policy and in accord. The ship's transit through the Taiwan Strait demonstrates the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. Lieutenant Commander Tim Go Taiwan described the ship's passage through the approximately 110-mile-wide strait as necessary to ensure the security of the seas and regional stability accord. But it appears China's verbal threats are increasingly being boosted by putting potential deterrent assets in the air as there's been an uptick in Chinese military aircraft conducting drills. But it remains a significant potential flashpoint for escalation between Beijing and Washington, especially given the Pentagon's latest declassified report published earlier this month highlighting China's ambitious defense technology. The Defense Intelligence Agency report also stated, Beijing's anticipation that foreign forces would intervene in a Taiwan scenario led the People's Liberation Army to develop a range of systems to deter, and notably the report was issued the same month that President Xi Jinping gave a landmark January 2 speech which offered a vision of the future relationship between China and Taiwan that blatantly contradicts what Taiwan wants for itself. Though giving up some of their freedoms might seem daunting, Xi tried to assure Taiwan that there was nothing to fear from reunification with Beijing, and that they would enjoy even greater economic prosperity under one country. Xi says while Taiwan is satisfied with the status quo, Beijing is growing increasingly uneasy, evidenced by Beijing's incessant military posturing in the Strait of Taiwan. And if markets are fearful about a collapse in the global trading, China on Thursday slammed the flyovers as provocative. Late on Tuesday, the heavy bombers took part in a regularly scheduled, combined operation in the East China Sea, Pentagon spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Dave Eastburn said. A defense official said the nuclear-capable aircraft were escorted by Japanese fighters and the flight was part of the Pentagon's containment. Earlier in the week, B-52s flew through international airspace over the South China Sea, Eastburn said. Such flights are common and usually upset Beijing. China's defense ministry said it would respond with necessary means. China-US military ties may be in a downward spiral for a long time. As for the provocative action taken by the U.S. military aircraft, we are firmly against it and we will take all necessary means to safeguard our rights and interests, the ministry spoke in June. China's foreign ministry said no military ship or aircraft could scare China away from its resolve to protect its territory after US B-52 bombers flew near disputed islands in the China has claimed large swathes of the strategic waterway and built up a series of islands and maritime features, turning them into military facilities. Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines, Taiwan and Vietnam have competing claims to the region, and an international maritime tribunal ruled in 2016 that China's claims have no legal basis. Eastburn said the flights were part of regularly scheduled operations. The United States rejects China's territorial claims and routinely says the military will continue to fly, sail and operate wherever international law allows at times and places of artising. Washington this week enacted new tariffs against China covering another $200 billion of its imports. China has reacted angrily, and this week scrapped a U.S. Warships planned port visit to Hong Kong and canceled a meeting between the head of the Chinese Navy and his American counterpart. US President Donald Trump also accused China of seeking to meddle in the November 6th congressional elections on Wednesday, saying Beijing did not want his Republican Party to do well because of his pugnacious stance on trade. Defense Secretary James Mattis said he was not concerned that the U.S. transit flights would increase tensions with China. If it was 20 years ago and they have not militarized those features there, it would have just been another bomber on its way to Diego Garcia or whatever, he told Pentagon reporters, referring to the U.S. military base in the Indian Ocean. So there's nothing out of the ordinary about it, nor about our ships sailing through there. The Pentagon chief went on to say there is no fundamental shift in anything.